Before you decide this is just another talent show performance, wait until the final moment. Because what you're about to witness is a story so emotional that even Simon Cowell is left completely speechless. And when the golden buzzer falls, no one in the theater can hold back their tears. If you love inspiring stories that touch your heart, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and stay with us until the very end, because the ending will remind you that true legends never stop inspiring the world. The lights inside the America's Got Talent theater slowly faded. Thousands of people filled every seat, chatting excitedly as they waited for the next contestant. Simon Cowell sat quietly beside Sofia Vergara, Howie Mandel, and Mel B. They had already watched dozens of acts that day. Some were funny. Some were talented. Others were unforgettable. But none of them knew that the next name would completely change the atmosphere inside the theater. The announcer smiled and spoke into the microphone. Our next contestant comes all the way from the Philippines. Please welcome Gary Valenciano. For a second, there was silence. Then whispers spread through the audience. Gary Valenciano? The legend? Is that really him? A man in his early 60s walked confidently onto the stage. He wore a simple black leather jacket over a white shirt, dark jeans, and polished boots. His warm smile reflected years of experience, yet his humble eyes carried the kindness of someone who had never forgotten where he came from. The audience immediately stood and applauded. Simon looked surprised. I know that name, he whispered. Gary smiled politely. Good evening. Simon leaned forward. Welcome. Tell us why you're here. Gary took a deep breath. My name is Gary Valenciano. I've spent decades performing around the world. I've been blessed with success, awards, and incredible fans. But today, I'm not standing here because I want another trophy. The room became quiet. I'm standing here because I want to prove that dreams never have an expiration date. The audience applauded. Gary continued. There were moments in my life when doctors told me I might never perform again. Everyone listened carefully. I've battled serious health problems. Diabetes. Heart surgery. Countless moments where people thought my career was over. His voice cracked slightly. But every single time, God gave me another chance. Several audience members wiped away tears. Simon nodded respectfully. Gary smiled again. And today, I simply want to sing with all my heart. Simon smiled. Whenever you're ready. The lights dimmed. A soft piano began playing. Gary closed his eyes. The first note left his mouth. Instantly, the entire theater froze. His voice wasn't simply beautiful. It carried decades of joy. Decades of pain. Decades of hope. Every lyric felt personal. Every word sounded like a conversation with every person who had ever wanted to give up. The audience became completely silent. Simon stared without blinking. Gary slowly walked across the stage. His voice grew stronger. Then came the chorus. Suddenly, everything exploded. The band joined in. Bright lights filled the theater. Gary began dancing with incredible energy. Nobody could believe what they were seeing. He moved like someone 30 years younger. His footwork amazed everyone. His smile became even brighter. The crowd erupted. People stood from their seats. They clapped. They danced. Some sang along. Even the camera operators couldn't stop smiling. Howie laughed. I cannot believe this. Mel B shouted. Come on. Simon simply stared. There wasn't a single expression on his face. Only complete disbelief. Gary reached another high note. Perfect. Powerful. Effortless. The audience exploded again. But Gary wasn't finished. He suddenly slowed everything down. The music softened. He looked directly into the audience. "I know what it feels like," he sang quietly. "To wonder if your best days are behind you." The room became silent again. Then he continued. "But every sunrise reminds us that every ending can become a new beginning." Tears appeared in the audience. Parents hugged their children. Older couples held hands. Young musicians looked inspired. The message reached everyone differently. Gary wasn't simply performing. He was healing hearts. Simon slowly removed his glasses. No one had ever seen him this emotional. The final chorus arrived. The orchestra grew louder. The choir joined behind him. Gary lifted both arms. His powerful voice echoed across the theater. The final note seemed to last forever. Silence. 1 second. 2 seconds. 3. Then, the audience exploded louder than ever before. Everyone stood. A standing ovation. People screamed. People cried. People cheered. The applause continued for nearly 2 full minutes. Gary lowered his head respectfully. His eyes filled with tears. Simon slowly picked up his microphone. "I'd judged talent competitions for many years." He paused. "I've seen thousands of performances." Another pause. "But tonight..." He looked at Gary. "You reminded every single person here why music exists." The audience applauded again. Simon continued. "You didn't come here to impress us. You came here to inspire us." Gary smiled through tears. Sophia wiped her eyes. "I grew up watching artists like you. Thank you for showing the world what real passion looks like." Howie nodded. "Age means absolutely nothing when your heart is this young." Melby smiled. "You gave us everything." Gary thanked them quietly. "I've already won just by standing here." Simon looked down toward the golden buzzer. The audience noticed. Whispers filled the theater. Could it actually happen? Simon smiled softly. "You said you came here to prove dreams never expire." Gary nodded. Simon stood. "And I think you've done much more than that." The audience screamed. Simon reached toward the golden buzzer. Gary covered his mouth. Simon looked directly into him. "This is for every person who thinks they're too old, too broken, or too late." He slammed the golden buzzer. Golden confetti exploded into the air. The theater erupted louder than ever before. Gary fell to his knees. Tears streamed down his face. Confetti covered the entire stage. His family rushed from backstage. His wife embraced him tightly. His children cried beside him. The audience continued cheering. Simon walked onto the stage. He hugged Gary warmly. "You earned every single piece of this." Gary whispered. "Thank you." Simon smiled. "No. Thank you." The cameras captured audience members crying openly. Musicians backstage applauded. Contestants hugged one another. Even crew members wiped away tears. Gary stood beneath the falling golden confetti. He looked toward the ceiling, closed his eyes, and whispered quietly, "All glory belongs to God." The audience applauded once more. As the music played softly in the background, Gary turned toward the crowd one final time. "If you're watching this today, please don't give up. Your age doesn't define you. Your failures don't define you. Your struggles don't define you. What defines you is the courage to keep showing up." The audience answered with another standing ovation. That night, millions of people around the world watched the performance online. Comments poured in from every corner of the globe. Some said they had decided not to quit chasing their dreams. Others called their parents to say thank you. Some returned to music after years of giving up. Because one performance had reminded them that hope never grows old. And perhaps that became Gary Valenciano's greatest achievement, not the golden buzzer, not the applause, not the standing ovation, but the thousands of hearts he inspired to believe in themselves again. So if this story touched your heart, remember this simple truth: your greatest chapter may still be waiting to be written. No matter how many setbacks you've faced, no matter how impossible your dream seems today, every new sunrise is another chance to begin again. Keep believing, keep working, keep singing your own song, and never let anyone convince you that it's too late. And if this story inspired you, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who needs hope today. You never know, your share might be the reason someone chooses to keep chasing their dream tomorrow.